Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
Happy Sunday.
It is Happy Sunday, except that it's not, is it?
No,
We're
it's
not
not
here.
Sunday. No, we decided to skip Sunday altogether.
I'm not here. Megan's not here.
We're not here.
We're on a train.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. On the way to Glasgow.
On the way to
in a
Glasgow.
very small
cramped.
What do you call it?
Overpriced.
What are they called?
Sweaty
train.
carriage.
The carriage.
Carriage.
I haven't been on a train in
over a year.
Way over a year. And I've forgotten the terminology. I can remember what carriage is called.
That's the furthest we're going to have been. Glasgow.
It's
like going to the moon after lockdown, isn't it?
We're going for a very quick work trip, but it's
The furthest I've been since this time last year was during that period where we were permitted to travel. I think it was August, September time.
Yeah.
I went to see Mark Avery in Northampton. That's the furthest I've been.
I did go up to Scotland last year.
Did you?
In September, I went for 10 days.
Of course you did. You had a little bit of an away day.
I did. I went away for 10 days.
You did a bit of wildlife, ottery and ottery sharky stuff.
Sharky.
Wales, I think.
Well, it was Wales. Yes, I was filming a bit for autumn.
Anyway, listen, we're not there, but we've got a great show coming up for you today. We've got all sorts of things. We've got the wonderful Martin Hughes-Games joining us in a moment. He's
very
got some
exciting to catch
little
up with
friends with him who. They define the C word, as you're about to see.
It's going to make you just immediately start gushing.
We've got Amy Hall and her 60-second zoology. We like those very much.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They are absolutely fantastic. All you need to know about something in just 60 seconds. Amy is absolutely brilliant. We've got the results of our Finn's Garden Friends competition coming up as well. And we've got a blissful mindfulness moment from Cate, our very own Cate. So
lots to look forward to.
But there's been a serious event, hasn't there? There's been trouble at the nest.
There's been some serious action going on, and we couldn't have SIBC this week without talking about it, without seeing this very remarkable clip.
Yeah, Cate MacRae. We've been looking at her nest cams throughout the course of this spring. They've been excellent. Nix, the tawny owl, and then we were on to the kestrels. And here, look, you can see in the box at the back there, the young kestrel chicks. In comes the male, and then a hobby appears, promptly followed by the female kestrel. And, an enormous scrap breaks out.
It's honestly the most remarkable thing. I heard what had happened before I saw the footage. This is actually the first little clip that I'm seeing of it.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Look at that, there's the male flashing through. So the female is in the nest box. Yeah. She's got the hobby underneath her. And that was a clip that Cate put up on Twitter as a teaser. The full 60 minutes of what happens is available on Cate's YouTube
and it
channel.
Is worth every single second.
Yeah, brace yourself though, it's pretty gruesome. But the extraordinary thing is that, had we just, been driving by, I mean, I don't know, should we just do a spoiler here? We have to give a spoiler, don't we?
Well, everybody...
What happens? What happens? The female kestrel kills the hobby, and then feeds it to her chicks.
Unbelievable.
Now, imagine that you'd been, just coming by an hour later, you get your binoculars, you look up, you see a bit of a hobby's wing sticking out of the nest. You would never know what had happened. And that's the wonder of these nest cams. They allow us to see things which otherwise we'd never get to see.
You'd never even imagine that would even ever be possible in a million years, yet there we are, we have it, and there's the footage of it. So it shows how valuable these cameras are in us understanding new behaviors, new ecology and everything. What a fantastic interaction.
I know, it's I like hobbies very much.
I love a hobby. I really do.
They're very dashing, smart, scythe-winged falcons, but this one made a mistake. It went into a kestrel's nest. It was chasing the male, trying to steal the food from the male. Bombed into the nest. Unfortunately, the female came in right behind the male. As soon as that hobby was knocked into the nest, the female did her duty to protect her young.
It's a big mistake on hobby's part, but
anyway, check it out. Check it out on Cate MacRae, Wildlife Cate's YouTube channel. And what a thing that is. What else we got coming up then?
Well, normally at this point in time, I say hello to everyone who's commenting, saying, good morning. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't do that because we pre-recorded this on Thursday, a couple of days beforehand. But hello to everyone. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday mornings with us again. We've been enjoying so much going through that SIBC Facebook group as ever, as you send in your photos and videos to it. Of course, do continue to do that. We'd love seeing them. And we picked out some great ones that we thought we'd show this morning. So this was a great tit by John Gawthorpe. Let's have a look at that. What do you think?
Well, do you know what?
Yeah.
I rather like that.
I thought you would actually.
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about the tail having split into two. It's gone a bit of a swallow-tailed great tit. Yeah. But the wing and the way that the breast colour and the background and the foreground actually, mixed together is pretty smart. I mean,
I'm not sure about the food.
No, I'm not happy about the peanuts.
No, I mean, listen, you could spot those now.
Yeah, John could easily get to grips with that.
Oh, it is a beautiful photo. That colour.
I know, the colour makes
stunning.
it. And the position of the wing. Look, it's not overlapping the bird's face at all, is it?
Beautiful.
I would score that quite highly. I mean, I would obviously get rid of the food, just to clean that out. But yeah, no, I think the colours are delightful. Out of 10? What, without the food?
Yes.
4.8.
That's high. I know for a lot of people watching, you'll think that that's quite a low score, but for Chris, that's very, very high.
I think the wing position is sensational, and the fact that you can see the bird's head and it's not overlapping, and the colours.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm scoring at 4.8, which is
a good one. Well done, John. That's a good score from Chris.
Okay.
The next one, we've got a bumblebee photo from Elizabeth Cookse. Oh, look at
that in the gorse, isn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. At the moment, early spring, you typically start seeing the queens around. This looks like quite a large individual to me. It's probably a queen, because of course they come out of their hibernation and start looking and trying to find places where they can start creating their nest. You'll see them on banks often. They do this kind of zigzag move because they're trying to find holes in which they can go in to start creating the nest. So, the queen's first, and at the moment we're starting to see lots of workers come out. So, lots of bee action.
And of course, gorse. My mother used to say, when gorse is in flower, kissing is in season. Do you know why she said that?
No, I don't.
Well, when's the kissing season?
That's all year round, isn't it?
Because gorse flowers all year round.
Oh, I see.
Both my mum and Megan were absolutely
I was going to say there's not a particular. I mean, mistletoe. Slightly perhaps maybe Valentine's Day.
No, when gorse is in flower, kissing season.
It smells lovely as well.
Yeah,
it smells good. Yeah. All right, well, that's a great photo. Thank you very much for sending that in to us, Elizabeth. This one is Cate Royle. She sent us this photo of a kestrel.
It's pretty good too, isn't it?
That is good. Oh, the standard's quite high, isn't it?
Look at the light coming through the tail.
Yeah,
the tail's perfectly fanned, isn't it?
It is beautiful.
Absolutely perfectly fanned. Right, okay, what would I do?
Straighten it.
Yeah, I'd straighten it up.
Yeah.
I'd straighten it up just so the kestrel was, directly horizontal across the frame. That's the first thing I'd do. And then when I was processing it, I'd chuck a little bit more light in underneath the kestrel.
Yeah,
just
a little bit more details
lighten it up there a bit on the processing.
Yeah.
I've got to say, it's another really good
beautiful
photo, isn't it?
Those are all just kind of post-production fiddly bits though, isn't it? As a photograph, it's fantastic.
Well, you've got the light coming through to start with. Look at that.
It's very beautiful.
It's very, very good photograph.
Yeah. And finally, our very own producer, our wonderful tech wizard, Fabian Harrison, was out and about. And I saw this on his social media when he posted it. Got very excited.
Yeah.
Because he saw this, the grass snake in the water.
Look at that. I love a grass snake.
Oh, me
very
too.
Envious. I haven't seen a grass snake
No,
this year.
I know. They're fantastic, aren't they? I love that. Seeing them in the water is just something entirely different.
Beautiful. Well, they feed a lot on, depending on the size of the grass snake. Look, it's going under, you see.
Yeah.
They will feed on fish. They'll feed on newts and amphibians. And I think, as I've said before, they have the capacity to catch them under the water and also swallow them without drowning.
Clever.
Okay?
Very clever.
Love a grass snake. One of my favourite animals.
Underwater
one of my favourite animals. Anyway, listen, should we do a quiz?
Yes,
let's do a quiz. So it's just something, it's not a difficult one this week. It's something I just picked up whilst I was walking in the woods. I was walking in the woods, as I do, and I looked down on the ground, as I do, and I saw this and picked it up, as I do. So look, I'm going to show you the underside here. Here's the underside. It's a skull, obviously. Look at the holes that have been made where the teeth are missing. And then I'll swivel it around there. Look at these very prominent teeth at the front of the skull there. You can see those. And let me just show you the back of it. Yeah. And in case you didn't know how big the skull was, because you might have thought that I had either very, very tiny or very, very large fingers, we showed you a little clip there with it alongside a pound coin.
You do have quite big fingers.
What? Yeah. What do you mean?
Put your hand like that. Go on. You've got like chunkier fingers. They're not like but they're quite small hands, but like bigger.
Well, what you're saying is if you've been holding the skull up, everyone would have thought it was much bigger. They'd have thought, what was this, a hippopotamus skull or something, because of your tiny fingers, and now they're thinking it's like a pygmy shrew because of my
I've got
fingers.
quite big fingers. I've got quite big fingers.
Right. Okay, well, let us know what it is, and we'll give you the answer, obviously, at the end of the programme. Amy Hall, we like Amy, don't we?
We love Amy. Yeah, she does some fantastic videos in 60 seconds. All that knowledge crammed in so beautifully.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot.
Really good. A very concise insight into one animal, one bit of animal physiology, one bit of animal behaviour. So we thought we'd pick a few.
Yeah.
Just two, actually. We've picked two of her 60-second zoology slots out. And we're going to start by showing you this one, which is about woodlice. I love woodlice.
I know. Well, they're the first thing that you connect with as a kid when you get in the dirt and you're picking up the woodlice. I was always, picking up woodlice.
Yeah. Anyway, here's Amy to tell us a bit more about woodlice and how they breathe.
Hello, welcome back to 60 Second Zoology. I'm Amy, a zoologist, and this episode is all about woodlice. If you go outside and have a look around some damp undergrowth, you will more than likely find some woodlice. For me, they're synonymous with days spent outside, digging in the dirt and lifting up logs. Having emerged from the sea millions of years ago, these crustaceans haven't changed much in form. They had no pressure to evolve lungs, as the existing apparatus have worked just fine. Under the armour of their shell are their legs, and under their legs are the pleopods. Superficially, these aren't really an interesting part of the woodlouse's anatomy, but they are where very important gas exchange occurs. Dampness improves the efficiency of this exchange, as more oxygen can reach into the gill-like structure of the pleopodal lung. This explains their preference to remain underneath logs where it's damp, with an important added bonus of keeping them out of sight of predators too.
Woodlouse lungs. You see, when I was a kid, I used to pick up those woodlice and put them in jam jars, and they'd escape and they'd get down under the bed where it was too dry for them. They'd dry out, and then they'd be little hard balls of ex-woodlouse. I used to love woodlouse. I finally learned to keep them properly, put some damp soil in the jar, bit of bark for them to hide under. I never realised at that time they were crustacean. I had no idea about the way that they were able to respire on land. The only crustacean that doesn't return to water to breed the woodlouse. 40 odd species in the UK, many of them quite specialist, actually, living in on shingle beaches. One of the best places for woodlice, rare woodlice in the UK, is Dungeness. Anyway, thanks for that, Amy. We've got another one of those 60-second zoology slots from Amy Hall coming up a bit later on. But now, Meg's has gone, by the way. She's had to nip off and do something. You don't ask, do you? Well, I could have, but I didn't. She's just gone. She'll be back in a minute. Anyway, to fill in the gap more than adequately, I'm very pleased to welcome my great mate, Martin Hughes-Games. Martin, hello.
Chris, hi. I've got all right, thank you. Sorry, Sam will be interrupting us a little bit.
Sam, your son, of course.
That's my son, age 4. Yes, he's watching CBeebies at the moment. Chris, I've got to add to the woodlouse thing.
Yes.
Did you know there is a species of woodlouse in New Zealand that specialises on eating the drowned bodies of bees?
That's extraordinary.
Absolutely. I read that in a book, and it's stayed with me for years to this moment. I knew it was going to come up at this precise moment. Fantastic.
But don't you just love that? A crustacean that's, come out of the water, lives on land, and now specialises eating not bees, but the drowned bodies of bees.
Drowned bodies of bees. I suppose bees would be a bit nippy for a woodlouse to catch if they weren't drowned, Chris. Yeah. I've got something to show you.
Before we go on, nature is a many-fold and wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is. And look, here they are.
No, look.
It must be a year now since I was on, because I had chicks before.
Yes.
I'll get another one out. We've got 6 came out yesterday. Stay there. Cool, they're nippy. No, have a look at these. No. Oh, there they are. I'm just doing a little bit of chick wrangling there. There they are.
They're all slightly different, Martin. One's got a brown crest, one's smoky, and one's just sort of classic chick. Are they all from the same hen?
No, they're from 2 hens, but all my chickens are all sort of different breeds, all mixed up, and that makes it exciting because you never know what you're going to get. You see,
a fabulous advert for the Isle of Man Triumph owners.
Sorry, yeah.
There, mate. Yeah, I mean, that's a fabulous bit of product placement there. Absolutely, yes. But yes, so but they're all Heinz 57. But you've got one cockerel, have you?
We got 2 cockerels. But what happened was that the eggs, we got a broody, they go broody, but then she was a young hen. she wasn't experienced, Chris. She didn't know the rules. And instead of sitting tight on the eggs, suddenly she was off them, mucking around with the cockerel. So I had to intervene dramatically and go and get the incubator and pop the eggs in the incubator where they had to. And, you know, I don't know if you must have done it, but the whole crisis of them, when they start to hatch out, you never know whether to intervene. And you think, oh, it's stuck in there. It's been in there for 24 hours. Should I do something? I did intervene with one. And because the blood system is round the margins of the egg until it sort of is ready to hatch, I opened it and blood came squirting out everywhere.
And?
Dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but...
Well, I mean, the rest survived. That's what you've got to look at, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, it had been in there for 24 hours. And I thought it's going to die in there of exhaustion. And we did get 6 out of 7, which is probably our best result ever. So, and they're all doing brilliantly now. So,
what does the future hold for them?
Sorry?
What does the future hold for your chicks?
Oh, they'll be living out in the garden. I tried something this time because I don't want to have cockerels. Because, you know, some reptiles, the sex can be shifted by the temperature in which they're incubated. So you can have, if it's a bit hotter, you get more males with sort of lizards and things. So I thought I'll drop the temperature on the incubator at the beginning and see whether I can get more hens that way. I dropped it by a degree. So I hope, you know, maybe I've got a load of hens.
How long are you going to have to wait before you know, when they start to develop a little bit of a comb?
You never, ever know. Until they start crowing, I generally...
But that's a year away then, perhaps.
I know, and there's so many different ways. If somebody knows a reliable way, somebody in the club knows a reliable way of telling how, right from the start, I think, you know, whether it's male or female, because I think in Japan, it's a 7-year course, isn't it? To work out how to tell. You have to squeeze it, and its sexual organs emerge, I believe, but not squeeze too hard, obviously, like Sam does. Just squeeze the right amount, and then you can sex them, you see. Excellent. 7 years.
7 years of training. You better sign up to that course, mate.
Chris, I know I'm just going to diverge briefly from wildlife, but then snap straight back in a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I've been spending a lot of time repairing my old 1960 Norton, and I put a new engine in it, a new powerful engine.
Yes.
And, well, a bit more powerful, and I got it a bit wrong, and I advanced the ignition a bit too much, mate. And you can see when I tried to kickstart it with the advanced ignition, have a look at what happened. I'm quite scared of this one now.
Oh, what a machine.
Here it goes. I swear, I thought it was broken.
What did it do? Did it kick back at you, did it?
Kick back. And honestly, I know now people have their legs broken if it's too advanced. And I thought it was gone, you know. And my friend Angus starts laughing in a minute, which I think harsh.
Yes. Well, I don't know. If I'd have been there, I'd have been laughing by then.
But very quickly, I just want to show you, these are 2 of my favourite spanners. There's a beautiful brittle, you see.
Yeah.
A beautiful brittle, that's in the hand. Oh, and here, I mean, Megs could wear this as a jewel, mate. That is a snap-on 1/4-inch ratchet. Oh, look at that. But even more exciting, I've recently discovered there's a company called Garrington who made spanners. They've stopped making them. And this is they name their spanners after birds of prey. So this is a Garrington Merlin. And all the open-enders were called Merlins. And this is a Garrington Kestrel ring spanner.
What about?
Mate, I've been on the internet, obviously on the eBay, buying.
The whole fauna of spanner birds of prey.
That's what you have to, don't you? Anyway, Chris, more seriously. Oh, I think a bird's just flown into the window. Oh, that's okay. More seriously, it's been a brilliant year for adders where I live. I mean, I live up on the Mendips. Have you had a lot of adders?
No, I haven't seen a single adder yet this year. It's been really, really cold here. I mean, really cold. I mean, it was warm, as we know, at the beginning of March, and then we had lots of frosts, no rain at all, so it was dry, but bitterly cold. Look, even now I'm out here with my puffer on. It's been unseasonably cold. But so have you found a little warmth?
Somehow, I was thinking the same thing. It's much too cold for adders, because last year I saw an adder in the rhubarb patch in my garden, which is perhaps the most exciting thing that's happened in the last 10 years.
I think, wasn't that that was on that early folk record when you were playing the penny whistle, wasn't it? Didn't you used to do one called Adder in the Rhubarb Patch? Didn't you do a track?
Adder the Adder in the Rhubarb Patch. That's right. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I seem to remember you there in your bib and with your sleeve rolled up with the penny whistle and
Adder in the Rhubarb Patch.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, when I was into my folk set. But then one of our neighbours, who's a vet, their dog was bitten on the nose by an adder just up from the house, which obviously is quite serious. It was fine. It's absolutely fine. I think about 100 dogs get bitten by adders every year. And then my neighbour down the road rang me up and said, "We've got this animal that's in the drive. Do you know what it is? Because I'm worried about my dogs and chickens." So she took a picture. There it is.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful.
It's a beauty. Isn't it a lovely male there?
Yeah.
And I said to her, well, I shouldn't have said her name, should I? Anyway, I said, "What did you do?" And she said, "Well, I wanted to see what its temperament was like, what it was like, whether it was dangerous or not." So I said, "Well, what did you do?" She said, "I threw a stick at it."
Oh, no.
So,
But the adder was unharmed, I hope.
It was unharmed. Yeah, she threw a little stick at it. But there have been lots and lots of adders in the neighbourhood, which is very exciting. And also, people have been putting beautiful footage of grass snakes on Twitter. Have you seen this? It's gorgeous. Has Fabian got it?
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Look at that. How many are there?
Well, apparently four of them. Two.
No, hold on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 3 heads at the moment. 4 heads.
Well, there were 2, and I can't remember the name of the chap. Is it Mr. Woods, I think, who filmed it? 2 of them were there. They went back into the wall. He called for his wife to go and get the camera. He kept an eye on it. And then the 2 came out, and 2 others joined them. But presumably this is mating, is it?
It must be. The larger ones, one would presume, are the females, and those smaller snakes that are writhing around them must be the males.
Isn't that beautiful, though, Chris? What a lovely sight.
I know. How fortunate that is. Mr. Woods, what a lucky chap.
Have you ever seen a big bundle of grass snakes like that?
No. Well, only when sometimes, when you pick up a piece of tin,
Yes.
old corrugated iron,
Yes.
and the animals go to rest there because it's warm. And sometimes you can find adders, slow worms and grass snakes under the same tin. Grass snakes probably max 3, but I did once down near Corfe Castle lift a tin, shown it actually by another adder specialist, lift a tin, and there I can't remember, 10 adders underneath it at least. In the big pile. Yeah, fantastic. Wow. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, I did a bit of research. Do you know how many people have been killed in the UK by adders since 1876, mate?
I know I read of a couple of accounts of elderly people with what we now call pre-existing conditions who have sadly succumbed. I'm going to guess at maximum 5.
Actually 14.
14?
14 people, yeah. But 14 in 145 years, people have been actually killed. It's not. You're much more likely to be killed by cow. 5 people a year are killed by cows. So, we don't need to worry about them very much. And a third of the bites are dry bites anyway. So
yes.
I'm always
if you leave an adder alone, then oh my goodness, look at this. Mark Wright, Dance of the Adders. Truly spectacular.
Isn't that lovely?
I've never seen that either, mate. Have you?
Yes, Chris. You and I saw it together. We saw it together, and we were with the cameraman, Scotty Tibbles, and he had one of those long lenses on. And we thought, this is the most exciting thing ever. And we said, "Did you get it, Scotty?" He said, "No, I couldn't find them."
But it wasn't like that. They weren't in the open, were they?
No, they weren't in the open. No, they were. But don't they look like a bit of bracken? The zigzag looks just like a bit of bracken.
Yeah, particularly with the sun shining through it, the contrast of bracken shadow.
Now, Chris, I met Carl Bovis recently. Have you seen any of his pictures?
I have. I saw one recently that he'd taken of a blue tit having a bit of a scrap with a chaffinch.
Can we see that one? Oh, look at that. Look at that, mate.
I know.
I assumed that he had the camera on burst all the time or something, but he said to me, I can't do that. I only get 5 hours a week to go out. He works as a traffic management guy, 5 hours a week to take photographs of birds. And he gets inside their heads, probably like you do, and he can tell if an altercation is going to happen or something. He watches the body language of the chaffinch on the feeder, and then he thinks, right, something's going to happen, bang, and he gets pictures like this. I think he's a genius.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's absolutely extraordinary.
And again, when you think how quickly that would have happened in life, you would never have seen those details very obviously. So, contemporary photography, the equipment has given us an insight into the bird's behavior, anatomy, everything.
Yeah, I think there's another one there. Look at that. How does he do that? How does he get the wings just so perfect? And anyway, but fascinating guy, well worth a look. If anyone wants cheering up, go on to Carl Bovis's Twitter feed and you'll see amazing pictures every single day. He's a very shy guy. I tried to get him on to encourage him to come on Spring Watch, and he's a bit nervous about it, but we might get him on one of the watches.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
It'd be very good. Yeah. Can I do one more plug, Chris, very quickly?
Yeah. Was it for Norton's or is it for Triumph or any other old British bike? Banners, yeah. Okay, grease guns. Oh yes, go on, tell us about this.
I'll tell you about it. I was horrified. It's a bit serious, but to find out that we've lost 60% of our greenfinches since 2006, and the chaffinches are falling off a cliff, their numbers. We don't really notice it. That's the trouble. It's sort of hidden. So everyone, please clean your feeders, because they pick up this, I can never say it, but this parasite where they come and feed on your feeders, because the infected birds poo and sick up the parasite. And so we're kind of killing them. Unless we clean our feeders, we're killing them. So I'm supporting this sort of feeder, which is a sort of premier thing. What happens is the bottom comes off, so you can just take it off and clean it, then you pop it back on and turn it round. That locks off, if you can see it, locks off the food, so the food stays in there, and it takes me 3 minutes to clean that. So that's a Finch's Friend feeder, premium, rather expensive. So if you can't afford it or you don't fancy it, just wash your feeders, please, because our finches are disappearing.
But that's a potential solution, isn't it, really? Because one of the problems with washing the feeder is that you can't wash it with the food in it.
Yes.
And some of those tube feeders, like the one you can see hanging behind me here, are devils to clean. I've got a brush that was actually used and invented for cleaning the exhaust pipe of the Harley Davidson motorcycle. Yes. The fat hog exhaust. And I've appropriated one of those brushes, which I'm able to insert into that tube, and with a vigorous thrusting motion, give it a good clean, mate. But that one that you've got, the Finch's Friend, is far easier. It's a click, off it comes, take it indoors, under the tap, nail brush on the surface, disinfectant, back outside. Birds they barely missed a beat.
Well, when you buy it, if you buy it, you get a spare one as well. So you don't even have to, anyway, but I mustn't go on. But I was really horrified. But I'm glad you managed to adapt your Harley Davidson sauce pipe cleaner, mate. That's absolutely, but they're a nightmare to clean. And most people, to be honest, they think, oh, can I be bothered? But I do it every Sunday now, and because I'm concerned.
See, these ones get cleaned once a year, and I've got a plastic dustbin which I fill with water, and I have to soak them in the plastic dustbin.
Yes,
and then give it, as I've said, with the fat hog exhaust brush, to keep them clean.
Very, very good. You must come down and have a go on the Norton, Chris. It's jolly exciting.
Yes, I'll wait until you've got it starting properly, though, because I don't really want to have my shin ripped off. I was
rather hoping you could take on the starting duties as a younger man.
Mate, it's been great to have you on. Thank you very much for your chick wisdom, your adder anecdotes, your Finch's Friends, and there. Look, we're leaving you there with a very, very cute little. Have you named them?
Joe, my wife, will name them all, and my son is banned from using that C word, mate. It's an attractive little animal, this one, isn't it?
It is a very attractive animal, yes, it is. Top work. Nice to speak to you, mate.
Cheers.
Excellent. Martin Hughes-Games, extraordinary. Top quality naturalist, a man who knows his motorcycles as well, I can tell you. He's got a small collection of antiquated rusting machines that he manages to keep in running order. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, earlier we featured Amy Hall and her woodlouse lungs. We're going to go back now to another one of Amy's short zoology clips that's 60 seconds long. All you need to know, and this one's absolutely brilliant. Pied wagtails, we see them all the time. We frequently see them running across the ground. But did you know that they were doing that in a very particular way? Well, you will in the next 60 seconds. Here's Amy.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of 60 Seconds Zoology. I'm Amy, and for this week's video we're going to talk about the economics of wagtail foraging. A bird which is easily spotted and always great to see is the pied wagtail. You can see this species pretty much anywhere in the UK, from rural to urban habitats, wagging their tails and darting around as they forage. If you watch wagtails as they forage, you may begin to notice that they're moving in a pattern. They tend to systematically move across the foraging ground, grabbing insects as they go. By working across the ground in this way, the wagtails know where is best to focus their efforts, and the prey will replenish in a systematic way too. When the whole site is being covered, they can start again. Some birds forage in this way alone and will chase away intruders to the foraging grounds. However, others may have an accompanying bird termed the satellite, which, despite also contributing to the reduction of prey, will help to chase away other intruders. Satellites are tolerated when prey is abundant, but when it's not, they will be chased away too.
Wagtails patrolling in parallel with satellites, taking advantage of it to maximize their feeding efficiency. We've all seen them doing it. I didn't know that. And quite a lot of the things that you get from Amy Hall, you've probably seen and you might have thought, well, I wonder what's going on there, but then you've forgotten about it. You haven't gone back and researched it. And that's why Amy is so good. You can follow her on Twitter, Amy Hall Wildlife, and Instagram as well, of course, at Amy Hall_wildlife on Instagram. And you can subscribe to her YouTube channel, which is Amy Hall Wildlife. Now, we say subscribe, you don't have to pay anything at all. You just, sign up to her YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to see what she's up to. She's done a whole load of those 60-second shorts, and they're all excellent. Time for a bit of Meg's story. Time for a bit of a mindfulness moment. We've all enjoyed these in the last year. We've recognized, so many more of us, that by simply focusing on nature and excluding the rest of the world, by focusing on one aspect of it, just the smell of it, the sight of it, or the sound of it, we can get some serious respite and solace from that nature and a break from what's been going on in a rather world. So Cate, our very own Cate Crocker, who is behind the scenes, constantly managing stuff for SIBC, managing these very programs as well, of course, on the old WhatsApp, communicating everything to us, typically live, has been out and about, and she recorded this close to her home, and it's birdsong. You're back.
I'm back.
Oh,
hello. Sorry, I
yes.
had a call.
Yeah. What's it, a call of nature?
Not a call of
Have
nature.
you been to the loo?
What about those chicks, though?
No, I'm asking. Have you been to the loo?
I've not been to the loo.
Oh, okay.
I've unfortunately I had a work thing that I've had to go and do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The chicks were sensational.
I know.
Absolutely sensational.
I did have a sneak
and you missed the bird song as well.
I know.
You missed your mindfulness moment. How's your mental
sorry.
health?
Not brilliant.
No.
I'm
You're a bit stressed,
mindful.
aren't you?
Work.
Pull yourself back together by doing the birthdays.
Well, yes, I love a birthday.
Yeah.
I love, I'm all about the birthdays, and happens to be lots of people's birthdays. So today, nobody's birthday, but next week we have a few. So our friend Sam Farrell got in touch to say that her daughter Lucy will be turning 12 on the 22nd of May. So very happy birthday.
We know
to
Lucy, of course.
Yes, we do.
We've met Lucy many times on our Bio Blitz and on many of our Hen Howe campaigning days. Yeah, she's really,
a
really
real
good.
amazing
so
young
Sam,
advocate.
really keen supporter of many conservation and wildlife welfare initiatives. So,
very happy birthday, Lucy. We've got a belated birthday. Chris Tree was 66 on the 10th of May, and this was from Jan. So very happy birthday to you, Chris. Hope you had a fantastic birthday. It was Kathy Tyler's birthday last week, and she was 57. Since watching SIBC, she has galvanized into action and now volunteers at her local conservation group. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Excellent.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying that, getting out and about. It's really important. I'm loving that people are getting involved in community conservation. It's so important that we all do something. So it's brilliant. Happy birthday to you.
We had a competition.
We did.
Rachel Lawston and Leah Visserins book here, Finn's Garden Friends, and we got 3 winners, which I think you've got in here. It's a fantastic book. The bit we liked best, wasn't it, was this bit at the back.
Oh yes, it was great.
It's just like this whole page where you could see all of the animals that you might find. And some of them, of course, are present in the book as well. And there we are. Can you spot all of those in Grandpa Sid's allotment? And as you go through, there they all are. You can look down the corner to see.
It's beautiful.
I love the little details. The house down in the corner there. Love the foxes. The foxes start off as bad guys, but then turn into good guys. That rescued me. When they were first worrying about the fox, I was thinking, oh no, but as a pro fox first person,
we love foxes.
Put me off, but everything comes good. So who are the lucky winners?
Well, we've got the 3 to 5 age category. So very big congratulations to Amelia Sepapur, age 5. Dream Garden. We love the joyful bright colours of this, and the creatures were just stunning. I mean, look at that rainbow.
I know.
Oh, it's stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, and all the sort of Banksy flyaway hearts there.
I like the caterpillar. Yeah, it's quite Banksy, isn't it?
Well, the flyaway hearts. Yeah. Balloon Girl.
Congratulations to Amelia. Very well done.
Excellent.
On the 6 to 8 age category, we'd like to congratulate Billy Sutter for his hedgehog. We really loved how Billy used lots of different media. He used sticks to create his hedgehog. Look at that. What is it? What is that on its nose?
I don't know. It looks like a sweet, isn't it?
Is that some kind of, maybe some wool or something?
It could be some wool.
Or googly. I love a googly eye.
Yeah.
Googly eyes are fun, aren't they? You put googly eyes on anything, they become great. But what an amazing thing.
I look like that most mornings when I get up.
I have to say you do, yeah.
My nose is that colour. I've got googly eyes and my hair looks like
I wasn't going to say anything, but...
Right, go on then.
I love that. Using different mediums is a great way to show those different artistic flares. Yeah. On the 9 to 14 age category, we'd like to wish James Broughton a very big congratulations. He's age 9, and it's wonderful to see his use of watercolours.
Yeah, now look at that. That's accomplished, isn't it?
Some swift
swallows.
Yes,
swallows and wildflowers there.
Look at that. It's pretty, isn't it?
Excellent stuff. So congratulations to all of our winners. The books will be wending their way through the post to you. And thank you very much to Rachel and Leah as well for allowing us to run the competition. Excellent stuff. Should we do the quiz?
Right, let's do the quiz reveal.
Okay, here it is. I was walking through the woods as I do. I spotted something as I do. I bent down as I do. I picked it up as I do. And this is what I found. Okay.
Colour of the teeth is a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, colour of the teeth is a giveaway. Now, obviously, because this isn't live, we can't, see who's got it.
No,
but I imagine quite a few will have got it. It's got these orange incisors here. It's got the diastema, the gap between where the molars would have been. So it's clearly a rodent here. It's in a British woodland.
Quite common.
And it's quite common, and it's also quite large. Here are my fingers.
Do you know who loves it?
Fingers
Do you know who
scale.
absolutely loves this animal? Move this way a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, I get my finger right. No, other way.
Yeah.
This.
Mr. Sid.
He's having a sleep. He loves.
Yeah. He keeps trying to meet them.
He does.
But thankfully, that's never happened. I don't think it ever will.
No.
This is the skull of a grey squirrel, created by Mr. Sid or Mrs. Nancy, because frankly, thank goodness poodles can't climb. Otherwise, the squirrels would be in trouble. But as it is at the moment, I think it's squirrels 900, Sid and Nancy 0. So this was the skull of a grey squirrel. Hope you got that one right. Okay.
So now next week is definitely a broadcast that you do not want to miss. And we've got a bit of an announcement about it. Now, SIBC was started because we all were finding a really difficult time in the midst of the first lockdown.
Seems a long time ago now,
it does seem like a really long time ago. You know, it's been over a year. And we've been out and about showing wildlife from all around the world and getting people, or trying to get people engaged in their own back gardens and their own local green spaces as well. And it's been a very special time.
It is, but next week is going to be our last broadcast. We're going into Spring Watch. We're going to be doing Spring Watch after that. And we thought that, you know, SIBC has achieved its mission. Our mission was to brighten people up through a terrible pandemic, and to bring them the simple joys of nature, as Meg has just said. And many people have responded in that way. So it will be our last SIBC broadcast next Sunday. We're going to keep the group open.
The Facebook group will be open up until the end of Spring Watch, at which point it will still be available for you to go and see. You'll be able to go through all of those fantastic posts. It's just that you won't be able to add any new posts anymore. And that's because there's 5 of us maintaining that group, and unfortunately things are lifted up and easing back into kind of, well, we're a bit busy.
And, the thing is, you know, we've got some other plans, and we would like to take you on a journey with our plans as well. It's not that we're going away, far from it.
Not.
We're not going away. We're going to be back, right back at you, because we've got some other missions that we need to achieve, and we feel that SIBC has met that mission and achieved it as best we were able to. And when I say we, I'm talking about not just Megan and I and Cate and Fabian. I'm talking and our contributors, but the whole SIBC community. But there are things that we need to move on to do, and of course central to all of our ambitions is making sure that we protect and look after the wildlife that we've got in the UK. So do stay with us. You'll have that opportunity to do that.
There'll be a change of mission, and you can find out ways. We'll be talking about that a bit next week, about how you can get involved in the next campaign and the next mission, which we're very excited to be talking about more. But so join us next week for the very last episode.
And of course, we're planning to go out with a bang.
We're going to go out with a big bang.
We've had so many highlights over the last year and a bit that we want to encapsulate as many of those as we can next week. So it's going to be a super.
It's going to be an emotional one.
An emotional farewell.
Yeah, I'm going to be really sad.
Okay.
Really sad. But join us next week, and thank you so much again for sticking with us this Sunday morning and every other Sunday morning, and every other weekday, I suppose, when we were every day, weren't we?
Yeah,
before that.
Yeah.
And we will see you then.
We'll see you then. We won't be on a train. We'll be live.
We'll be live, of course.
Okay.
Back at it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.